welcome back to the Stockwell Eldridge Show. I'm Jason Stockwell.
And I'm Dawn Eldridge. I love the music you're playing, Josh.
I just got in. Sorry, guys, I missed the first couple segments. I was on what I call 490 nowhere. So I wasn't going anywhere for a long time.
Where's 490? Oh, 494.
494. 490 for nowhere.
490
Hey,
forever.
well, I tell you,
490 forever. Yes, that's what it is. It's pretty much
that's
stuck.
good.
we
I
had
love
a Wells Fargo event last week in Bloomington. It started at 9 o'clock, and I told my team, I'm like, okay, make sure you leave early. The meeting started at 9. Most of them left at like 7:45. They didn't get there till like 9:30. They're all walking in like shaking.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was the day there was like some fire in the tunnel or whatever. It was just like, I was like, want you to talk about things you're grateful for. The whole time, I'm like, the only thing that kept me calm, I'm like, thank God, thank you, Jesus, that I do not have to drive this every day, that I drive 5 miles to work every day. So talk about how could I turn this situation, a negative into a positive. I was like, okay, it's just one day.
Well, at least
It's
you
just
got
one day.
you got a lot of time to be texting and connecting with people, at least while you're on. Just kidding.
Well, it was interesting the stuff they talk about on the radio in the morning, all these talk shows on the radio. I was like, oh my gosh, like there's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there.
Were you able to listen to our show?
Well, no,
I
because
tuned in one time and I did not like how it sounded.
I
you
listen.
sound
I
wonderful,
listen. Well, it's hard for me to listen on Sundays because I have I'm volunteering at church. But
Dawn looks and sounds wonderful. Everybody does today. Check us out on YouTube, by the way, to the Stockwell Eldridge Show.
So, Jason, you're skidding in. You got some information for us. You had real estate information, or what?
What I was just going to say about the traffic and the roads and the construction season we're going to already started right now is it makes you want to take 3 months. I kind of want to get into education because I'd like to take the 3 months and go up somewhere about 2 hours away, east, west, north, south, whatever. It doesn't really matter. And just be somewhere where I don't have to drive in the chaos and deal with all of the people. There was a guy just weaving in and out, going as fast as he could. And I just stayed in the one lane where I was in.
And you ended up at the same
spot.
spot.
And I passed him.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, you're not going to do anything. Like, he's literally going between 4 lanes. Just
Yeah. I know. Sometimes I always think,
you know.
I just pray for them. That maybe something serious going on and they need to just get to that destination. That's
maybe that was it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if it was really serious, then they go to the side and go around. I don't know.
Yeah. Or some people are just impatient. But anyways.
The intro song when we came in, I got just a couple of quotes that I want to talk about or start off with. A quote here says, "Work never hurt anybody. It's lack of it that destroys people." That was Katharine Hepburn, who's an American actress, who said that. Work never hurts anybody. It's lack of it that destroys people. So, and that "Work Hard, Play Hard" song that came on when you come in, that reminded me of that one. As far as don't get down. You see a lot of people who don't see that as a way to the end as far as what's going to make them happy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Work sometimes sucks. In fact, probably 95% of it sucks, or 90% of it sucks sometimes. But there's a good chunk of it that character builds, and it leads you to a positive path. So don't be afraid to work, because if you stop working, then you start a cycle, and it's hard to get back into it. It's like exercise, or it's like anything else.
Well, and I think it's finding work that you're passionate about. I mean, that's what I was, asking.
And even that, I
Lisa,
would say,
how you got to.
I would say, don't even be passionate. Don't just. You're not going to necessarily have a passion. You can't start out and say, okay, I'm passionate about, rockets, and I want, for NASA. You're not going to start out there, right? You got to start out.
Right.
somewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The work. Well, I think it's finding. I've read. I don't. Talk about reading books or whatever, like the Strength Finders and so forth. Like, what are your strengths? And it's always interesting when we go to some of our, leadership meetings, and the leaders up there. What their strengths are is, obviously they're more the analytics and the positivity. And I'm all like
visionaries.
They have completely different, but it's great. So they're in positions that rely to their strengths. But I think it's just going back, like that's what I said in my car. Like, okay, I could get really crabby here because it's raining. I'm going to be late to this meeting. I've been in my car for an hour, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to be thankful. You know what? That I have a car to drive. That I'm not walking to work in the rain. And you know what? I'm going to get there. It's going to be okay. I'm just going to enjoy it. And you're right.
That's what Tony Robbins taught you, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
digging
Just
down to find all
well,
the
and thankfully, like Lisa was
thankfulness.
talking about, just even, the situation and the people, what kind of income levels that they're living off of. But I think as far as the job, so I was asking, so Lisa Horn with Veep, um, Chief Executive Officer. That's an amazing title. But so how did you, so again, well, you kind of talked about it, Jason, you alluded to it. I'm sure you probably just didn't graduate from high school and become the CEO of this organization. You probably have a lot of experience in this. Are you from Minnesota
I'm
originally?
from Minnesota, and when I heard all of you talking about the traffic, my little tiny violin went off because I actually live an hour away from here, and I drive 494 the entire way to 394,
So
and
she's
then
like,
go
"Yeah,
west
save it,
another
sister."
35 miles.
Every
So
day.
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
every day. But I
So
got
save it, Jason. We're
Yeah.
not feeling sorry for you right now.
Spoiled. I'm spoiled.
I got started actually. I directed a spa, a destination European style resort years
Oh,
ago,
wow.
and that's how I got started. I have a passion for health and physical activity, and I got started doing that. But then that led me. I have a public health undergrad degree, so I started working for a 3-county community health collaborative, working on policy and ordinance work that got us better access to food and physical activity. And I got excited about that work, so I got a master's degree in nonprofit management and public administration from the Humphrey Institute. And my first job was in 2009, starting up a nonprofit hunger relief organization.
Wow.
And Veep has been around for 43 years, and the executive director who founded that organization, along with 13 churches, decided to retire after 39 years, and they did a national search for a CEO, and I was the lucky person. And I'm very
Nice.
passionate about my work. I'm one of those lucky
Well,
people.
and you just said a
who-
national search. That's why I was
Right.
curious if you were from here when you said they did a national search, and
I am.
here
I
you were right in their own backyard.
actually I
well,
came.
an hour away.
I
And
came from an organization right here in Egan,
What was it?
the Open Door.
Oh,
That's the organization I started up along with
and that's a
three
church
churches.
also, right? Or is that
It
a
was
separate
3
one?
churches that recognized right after the economic crisis in 2008 that they had people coming to them for food, and it was such a huge community need that they turned it into a 501c3.
Well, and I think you even made the comment you had for health and wellness. I mean, that probably why you're passionate about making sure that, we kind of talked about the food for kids. And well, I would even say, we talk about working out. We've had some
Yeah.
fitness gurus on here and doctors, chiropractors, everybody. But it does make a difference when you eat healthy. I mean, gosh, I can tell when I've had Chinese food, the next day I wake up, I'm like,
Yeah.
my eyes are all puffy and
Yeah.
my hands are puffy from all the sodium and stuff like that.
So, Lisa, if people want to volunteer, are you looking for more volunteers?
We're always looking.
Always,
for
you
Okay.
guys are
Yep.
right. Yeah.
Yes.
So, how can someone help out?
Well, there's lots of ways. So we have individual volunteer opportunities across the organization, whether it's in our food pantry or in our transportation program for seniors, or if it's working to check clients in as they come into our building, or check volunteers in when they come into the building. There's lots of opportunities. People can work at events. People can work at sit on a committee. Some people may, for example, have a skill in videography
Very.
and decide to volunteer their time, helping in that realm. So, and then we have group volunteer opportunities, and we branded that last year called Donate and Do. And so you talked about volunteers from Wells Fargo, employees. Lots of corporations are looking to engage their employees, right? And so our facility is 50,000 square feet. And
It's a beautiful facility. I
Wow.
got to tour it. I
Wow.
got to tour it
yeah,
with the
we have a
chamber,
big
so.
warehouse and a big multi-purpose room where we have groups come in and do team building and employee engagement right here right on site.
And they bake banana bread. Is that the common one, right?
Well, we have some teams. We have a commercial kitchen and a teaching
Oh,
kitchen.
gosh, I'm not good at baking.
And, but our volunteer teams get you all set up, and all you have to do is come into
That's
this
pretty
beautiful
cool.
kitchen
Yeah.
that's been designed by General Mills, a couple of retired folks from there, and you get to bake bread, and it's really
Wow.
fun.
And so
But
that's like a volunteer activity. Is
that's
coming
one
in
of
and-
them. Sorting produce is another one. Or like last night, we had Fairview executives over, and they packed applesauce into bags, put 6 applesauce containers into a bag and tied them up for kids. So
Oh, that's awesome. What's the what's the website if we want to get more information on it, Lisa?
our website is veep.org, veap.org.
All right. And there's information about how to donate, get involved, volunteer, and all that kind
There
of
is.
stuff.
It's a very easy site to navigate, and everything's right there for you.
Great. I'm excited. I'd love to get my team
Yeah.
involved. Like I said, we've got a lot of volunteers all over the Twin Cities. So whether it's my team or another team from Wells Fargo, we do a lot, like going bowling for junior achievement, and we did the good in the hood.
Yeah.
And so we always like to try to change it up. So good
Absolutely.
stuff. Well, great, Lisa. I'm Stephanie with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage.
And I'm Dawn Eldridge with Remax Results.
When we get back, I'd like to be a devil's advocate a little bit with Lisa, so I'll ask some questions of Lisa. And I also want to talk about health. There's a lot of junk food in your nutrition background, and I know when we met at the chamber meeting, you talked about that. So there's some information from Elliot Eisenberg when we get back, and Devil's
Great.
Advocate.
Awesome.
Stay tuned.
Thanks.